number 83. It's the prediction, actually the dua of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for Sulaym and Abu Talha. So this was a dua. It was such a precise dua that came true exactly. And what exactly happened, I'm going to explain the whole story. It's a very nice story, and this is a story, something that we should remember. Especially sisters need to remember the story. So what exactly happened? Sulaym radiallahu anha, little bit background about her, who she was. She was a very famous female companion of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, an Ansari, and she accepted Islam very early in Medina during the early days, and she was actually married to a non-Muslim person. They had a son called Anas ibn Malik, which you know is very famous, another Sahabi. But when that husband passed away, she was approached by a man called Abu Talha. And after her iddah, he proposed her and they got married. And the interesting thing here is that that marriage, the dowry in Islam we give mahar, right? And she said, my mahar for Abu Talha is nothing but his acceptance of Islam. So she didn't demand any money, the gift that a husband is required to give. She just said that if Abu Talha accepts Islam, that is my dowry. So that was, I'm going to explain more, give examples about her, and it will tell you exactly who Sulaym was. And by the way, their story, we covered their story earlier as well, the miracle of food, if you remember. But anyways, she was a woman who had a very strong personality, and what I'm impressed about her is her akhlaq, her character is like amazing. And she was also known as a very brave woman. She in fact participated in the battles that were fought, and she would help the Muslim warriors, give them water, and sometimes even fight physically when the need arose. And she was very famous for carrying a dagger as well in the battlefield for her own protection. But anyways, so what exactly happened? What is the story and what is the dua that we are referring to? So when Abu Talha and Sulaym, they got married, they had a son called Abu Umayr, and that was Abu Talha's first son, obviously. Sulaym had another son from other marriage, but Abu Talha loved his son very much. But during the difficult times arrived in their family, and this son of his got very sick, very sick, and Abu Talha was very concerned about him. So what happened then? He had to travel somewhere in a journey, and he had to leave, and he was still concerned about his son. And when he went away from his house in a journey, his son passed away. And the family members came to console Sulaym. Obviously it was a big shock for Sulaym as well, but she remained very patient and calm. She told all the family members that nobody should inform Abu Talha. I will give the news of the death of our son to my husband myself. Abu Talha eventually arrived out of the long journey. He was very tired, obviously. In those days journeys were very difficult, and when he arrived, she did not tell him the news. In fact, Abu Talha was so much concerned about the son, he asked, how is my son doing? How is he? Where is he? So Sulaym, she replied, she said that he's sleeping. Obviously referring to that every dead person is in fact sleeping. What she did was that she did not want to basically give the news of the death to her husband right away, because here the important thing is that physically Abu Talha was exhausted and mentally as well exhausted, and now he had this huge mental pressure about his son, and he was very much concerned. And Sulaym, she thought that if I give the news of the death of his son to him right away, something bad will happen to him. Usually what happens is, you heard about these cases, right? Like the nervous breakdowns, the heart attacks and things like that do happen when you put all kind of stress on a person. Things happen. So Sulaym wanted to make it easy for him. So what she did, she served him food and everything was normal, and she embellished herself, and they slept together that night, had a physical union, and then in the morning she informed Abu Talha. Actually, she didn't actually wanted to inform directly. She actually approached it very well. She told Abu Talha, very nice way. She told, if somebody comes to us and gives us something, to keep something as a trust, and that person later comes back and says, can I have my thing back? I gave it to you, that was a trust. So should we give that person back or not, that object or that thing? So Abu Talha said, yes, definitely, it belongs to him, so we should return to him. So Sulaym said that, now I inform you of the death of your son. Basically meaning that our son is a blessing from Allah, it belongs to Allah. Allah gave us for a while, now He is taking our son back. When Abu Talha heard it, he was very, very upset. He was like, why didn't you tell me last night? And moreover, we slept together and you are telling me now? So he was so upset that he went to Rasulullah ﷺ to complain against Sulaym. Look what she did. So when Rasulullah ﷺ heard the story, he was very impressed by Sulaym, because what she did was something not many women will be able to do. So because basically she not only controlled her emotions, but she helped give Abu Talha the news in a very nice way, something which is very difficult for a woman, especially when you talk about women. They have more soft heart. So to reach this level, that was amazing. She now reached a very high level. So Rasulullah ﷺ was so much impressed by her. He made a dua for both of them. That he said, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless both of you in the night spent by you. And immediately that dua got accepted. And because of that night, Sulaym gets pregnant. And she delivers the baby later on. And when baby was born, Anas took the baby to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he chewed some dates and put in his mouth. So basically, the first food that went inside the name of that son, his name was Abdullah, who was born. That was the food chewed by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the saliva of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what is said about Abdullah is that dua, how it got accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Abdullah had 10 sons. All of them became Hafidul Quran. All of them Hafidul Quran, and not just that, they became the scholars of Quran. Being Hafidul Quran is one thing and being scholar is one thing. Very few people attain both levels, and all the 10 sons, not just 9, all of them, 10 became Hafidul Quran. So that's really a miracle, because out of one night, this special blessing, nobody gets this kind of blessing. 10 sons and Hafidul Quran, I hardly remember who was this person, but that particular dua really got accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's an amazing example and a lesson for sisters, how they should learn from this story, how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam informs that how that is such a high level of akhlaq, is something to learn and implement. Maybe we might not able to reach that level, but we should learn something for small things. Start with small things, and Allah will help us as we go along.